Yeah, everyone. Dylan, my house is big enough. I could throw it here. But it'd probably fuck up my house. Oh. Alright guys, what's up? What's up? How we doing? How was today? How was today? You guys do good during London? No, yeah, no. Sup, Sen? What you said, my shipping down. Oh, what did I say? I said my house is big enough, but then I said I probably wouldn't want to fuck it up. What's up, Luxie? What's up, guys? Let's get it. What up, Shooter? What up, guys? Let's have a good day today. Again, no trade day yesterday. I didn't end up entering anything until last night. Again, like I said, after 1 a.m., probabilities do end up decreasing. We did end up getting the break of structure. Okay, again, we were looking for this move. I did not enter. It was too late. It literally tapped around 140, about 40 minutes after my session. Again, this is the reason I didn't enter. Is again, after 2 a.m., I realized the win rate is just kind of, oh, fuck. What the fuck happened to my lights? That's fucked. My win rate does kind of decrease. Not even kind of, it does. So with that being said, why are my lights tweaking dick right now? Hold on. Motherfucker. Trying to turn it back on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hold on. Hold up. Maybe I shouldn't plug that shit back in. It feels like it's going to start a fire. All right, we're going to deal with it. It's a little bit darker than usual, but that shit actually burned my finger right now. Can't even lie. Those lights may be a little bit dangerous. Not even gonna lie. I might need to throw this away. Actually, maybe give me like some type of degree of burn on my finger right now. All right. So, again, yesterday, no trades. Why is my general chat not fucking popping up? I hate when it does this shit. All right. We live in LA. I live close. But let's get into today. So, NASDAQ, obviously, we will be trading NQ. We did end up selling off eventually. Again, that was the overall idea, was to see a potential sell-off. Price did end up dipping pretty hard, giving us this new bearish leg to potentially play in. Again, we are bearish. I am not interested in continuing to sell. That does not mean price can't continue to sell. It 100% can continue further down. But nonetheless, yes, again, it looks like we are pushing very hard down. It would make sense, at least to most of you, for me to continue to sell. But nonetheless, for me to even want to sell, I still need to see a pullback. Again, I don't like selling when we're already deep within discount, when we've already been selling off for a while. Probability is not as high. Okay, same thing as yesterday. Again, we had already been pushing up for quite a while when we entered London session around here. I was not interested in selling. Yes, price did end up continuing higher, but again, it goes to show, like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean because I want sells that sells are going to play out now, but they will play out eventually. Well, we can see price did end up ranging up a little bit higher, did end up playing out eventually. Sells did end up happening exactly how I said it would, just a little bit later out of the session. Okay, so same thing here, and I'm hoping we actually get a setup today. And the only way we're going to get a setup is if we start seeing internal breaks, right? Which is going to be a break of this high, right? Definitely possible that we could see this, right? We're not looking at that big of a move here. I'm mistaken here. Pretty big fucking move, actually. Why is that so big of a move? That is ridiculous. What the fuck? But the reason we're waiting for that internal high is because, as you can see, we don't really have the best internal structure on the 5-minute. Really not at all. We've kind of just been straight shooting down here. Not the best yesterday, not the best today. Oh. If you can't hear me, I'm on YouTube, guys. Hold on. Sorry. All right, there. So again, we'll see what we get today. Again, I'm not going to rush anything, guys. At the end of the day, if we don't get a setup, we don't get a setup. You know, obviously I want to see a setup, but like I said, I'm very big quality over quantity. So if we don't get it, we don't get it. But nonetheless, oh, young Nick, I know, literally, that was like, fuck, maybe almost, not 2 years ago. Like a year and a half, maybe a year. But Guys, go get your guys an account. Code Nick. Again, if you guys don't know, go trade at Legacy Funding. You can use Code Nick, get yourself a nice little discount on that. Don't buy an account that is discount. Seriously. I don't know who made those gifts. I think it was Salva. And those have been like thrown around the Discord like crazy. I don't mind it. But let's go over to DAX. So we already have our analysis on NAS. I am really just kind of overall expecting buys of some sort. Unless we see some type of 30-second setup where we can catch some type of 30-second internal push of like this 1 minute trend. I'm just not interested in that though, just because the 1 minute, I mean, we still need to hit 50%, so that definitely still can happen. If we range further down, then, you know, we could look for some type of fractal setup within the 30-second of like a pullback of this 1 minute move. I just doubt that's going to happen, to be honest with you guys. I'd prefer, you know, a larger time frame setup as like, let's say price does break these highs and then we look for a pullback here, or wait for the continuation higher. Okay, that's really the only thing I'm looking for. Sucks because, again, just not the best price action. Again, at least for me. You know, if you guys see a setup, you know, it's part of your system, take it. By all means, shoot. But I think it'll definitely be a little bit of a waiting game. Again, it could have happened in 15 minutes, 20 minutes off session, but it's not like one of those trades where we, you know, are waiting and anticipating open to take a setup right away just because there's really nothing. So I do think with this liquidity kind of building up here, though, we probably will get a spike up, okay? But again, we still need the breaker structure. Price could damn well respect this area and then continue lower. If that's the case, I'm going to let it run, okay? I'm really not interested in continuing to sell when we've been selling off for so long, okay? It's just not ideal for me. DAX, I am kind of interested in DAX, okay? Very much so. We did end up ranging higher. We swept these highs. If we come down and break this low, which we still need a little bit further, if we break this low, I will end up setting my limits depending on where this range ends, and I will be looking for shorts on DAX. It is a bigger move, you know, in the sense of we do have a pretty big stop loss, damn near fucking 200-point stop loss, but we can target this equilibrium of this higher time frame leg. So I don't mind it. I do think we can and most likely will eventually facilitate the pullback of this 1 hour leg, and I think this could be the start of it. But again, for me to, you know, want to take this trade, I need to see the break of this internal low first. And then I need to see a pullback of that new bearish leg. And then we can look to shoot from there. Okay, we really can. That'll definitely probably be something that happens later on unless we get a lot of volume on UK100. Okay, on DAX, UK100. Now, I did talk about breaking structure over here the other day and potentially taking the setup. I just didn't really like it after the fact. It happened way late. I mean, this happened literally in Asia session. I just was not interested anymore as we came to Asia session to take this trade. Okay, if we would have broke during London or a little bit after London and then during New York had the pullback, I would have entered because I know there's still been enough volume. But as we kind of creeped into Asia, we finally hit the pullback of this new bullish leg. I do expect price to go higher here, but we have come deep within discount. I still, like, at this point, I need to see the 5 minute either start trending. Excuse me. And we can start ripping higher. We'll see. Damn dog, my 5-star war for you. Now you're good. But we'll see. Let's check out gold. I mean, I'm not going to trade gold, but we'll check it out. We'll check it out. We're definitely selling off here. We definitely could continue lower. I would personally prefer buys, but that's only when, you know, confirmation does happen, which is some type of break of internal highs. We know we have Asia highs up here. We have New York highs sitting up here as a liquidity point. I think we could take buys, but I'm not going to take buys. I just don't like how gold moves. I've made good money on gold. I've lost money on gold, yes. But gold has never moved in a way where I'm very fond of it. Again, it is a commodity. I always mention that. It does move a little bit differently. And I've just never been a fan of it, truly. There has been times like recently I will trade, you know, sometimes Asia with Luca when he's in the kingdom, or I'll just kind of hop on. And I do still see like my setup happen every so often. It's just a different mover, guys. I'm just not the biggest fan. I think UK100 DAX and NQ move way differently, truly. But we'll see what happens here. Again, we could end up taking buys on NAS, but the only buying opportunity I am going to look for is if price continues to dip down here at open, and then we see some type of pullback scenario where we can, you know, potentially look for a trade, because within this 1 minute bearish leg, we've yet to facilitate an actual pullback of the 50%. Same thing here. Yet to facilitate a pullback of the 50%. Yeah. Okay. So if we range lower and lower, we could potentially take something, but it really, really just depends. I still need a good setup here. It did me a lot. No baby oil. Damn. NQ did that to me last week. It was pretty rough. You know, we're trying to come back, make it back for this week, but you know, there's really no rush on it because at the end of the day, you know, I'm not here to rush trades, guys. I'm here to take good trades. Here to take good trades. But we'll see. If we get a good trade, we'll take it. Next time we come to LA in October, yes, sir. Just let me know. Hopefully, I'll be here in October. I think I'm going to go to Hawaii in October, sometime in October. I forget when. I think I'm going to stay at like some old famous band's house. What is it? Forgot their name. Let's see. I think it was a band. I always forget the name. I don't know. Who was it? I'm trying to find it. Why can I not fucking find it? I don't know. I can't remember their names, man. But it's a famous band. It's a really nice house, so I might be out there for a while. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm back. Feel like gold. Oh, no, I read that. Hear about the massive cold storage fire in LA? No, I haven't. I have not. I'm getting off probation in October on Freeman again, then to LA every week. Hell yeah. Show jump in power with Luca and Chris, full team on the live. I know, I saw that. I saw that. I was in bed. Well, like I was already up, but I was like laying down. I was doing some work on my phone. I saw that they're live, and I was like, nah. But yeah, I saw that Chris was in there today. Better than the shower. Can't believe you remember that shit. It's praying to God on the shit. I'm down 450K. Rise eval, is there any chances that I pass it? Yeah, of course. If you're only down 400. Well, depends. How much did you go in profit? Did you ever go in profit, or did you just take losses off the bat? If you just took losses off the bat, you're chilling, bro. You no need to trip out there. All right. Looks like we are kind of ranging lower. We have 1 minute to open. We'll see what happens. DAX, it looks like we are going to break this low, which is beautiful because this break of this low confirms this new bearish leg. And I will look for sells up. Looks like we have news. When do we have news? Ooh, we have a lot of euro. That shouldn't bother us though. It's orange folder. And we still have a big move until we get turned in. 85 plus million pounds of food sitting under mass. Wait, what do you mean? So NAS is still dropping. That's fine. Again, even though it's still dropping, doesn't necessarily mean we won't be able to catch something of quality. We'll see how price continues to play out here. Oh my gosh. We'll see. We'll see. I am not interested in sells though. The only time I'll be interested in sells is if we do expand higher, break these highs, and we catch a pullback. We are correct about those. Yeah, UK 100 didn't end up buying up, and it's flying. Oh my gosh. Like, I wanted to enter here as price came back down, Georgia, but if you just entered, I didn't enter here because we finally hit this pullback in Asia. I just was not interested in that at all, like whatsoever. So with that happening, I just decided not to enter. But I will look to enter if we potentially start to range higher. Because again, if we do end up, even if we wait for a break of this high, which is a pretty significant move, I'll set limits. And, you know, again, at that point, we've already created a new higher high within this internal structure. We had a pullback. If we create another higher high, that's just, you know, kind of confirming that we are starting to trend bullish, and then we can look to take price even higher from there on out. So I actually don't mind sitting on my hands there. Wow, we are moving on UK 100. What a move. What a pump. What a pump. We could potentially play this area, like play this high and then play this new leg higher. I'm just a little bit iffy about it. I really am. Just because we don't really have a lot of liquidity taken. I mean, we have some liquidity over here that was taken, yes. But I truly would rather wait for just like the 15 minute to break here, which again is a significant move. I can say it may be something I take in New York, but I'm fine with that. You know, like again, I've been more or less intraday when it comes to DAX and UK 100, just based off how price has been moving. Not as many setups, so, or at least within my London window. But what a move on UK 100. If anyone caught like this breakout, these highs came down, swept at least this internal low, fucking ripped. Even if you waited for this, you should have caught a nice little move there. Should have caught a nice move. Let's see what we get here, guys. The one thing I wish is we did facilitate the pullback, but we didn't. It's ugly. Here's the thing I don't like about this is like, for us to be valid for buys, we need to see a break of this high here. None of these highs. This is just internal chop of this bearish leg. If we want to take, well, actually no. Like when it comes to actual like fractal buys, like lower time frame buys, we're sitting within this 30-second leg, so we need to see a break at that 30-second high, which at that point we could be hitting equilibrium, and it's just not worth it at that point. We are definitely going deeper. But again, even if I was or did like sells, there's really nothing for me to take sells at. There's really no area that I would actually feel confident. I do not want to have another night of just waiting. If price just expands lower and lower and lower and lower, it may be a short stream. I still want to kind of go to the gym, get some cardio in and shit. 40 more points to grab previous week low. That it could be what it's doing too. You know, we could be looking to do that as well. Truly. Okay, so a good point out there. We could be looking to take this weekly low, and that's why we could continue to sell. But even then, even with that information, or like that understanding of like that could happen, I just still wouldn't want to take sells from the position that we're sitting at right now with this within this overextended leg. It's just not necessarily ideal for me as of right now. Yeah, it's not looking the best, crew. I can't lie. Especially like when I hopped on a little bit before stream and I saw this, like just no real internal structure being created, just kind of like, it wasn't obviously a straight shot down, but in a sense we just kind of we did almost straight shoot down in a sense. It just wasn't really ideal for me. I like seeing actual internal structure. Like I like seeing structure like this, or yesterday we had a little bit better structure to play off of. Last week we actually had decent structure compared to this week, so we'll see what happens. We'll look at the chart. I said, yeah, nope. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I kind of been wanting to trade during New York. There actually has been some pretty decent setups. Let's see if there was anything that we could have caught yesterday during New York. No. I know a bunch of ICT traders cut this move. Like some break of fucking some IFEG down. Pretty nice, pretty nasty, I can't lie. Pretty nasty. It's not ideal. In order for us to take buys, I'd want to see this 30-second leg have a pullback, break back lower, and then we can break back that high and potentially see something, because if we wait for a break of this high, then I'm not a fan of that, because at that point we've now come within the premium range of this bearish leg here. And being that we're coming in the premium of that bearish leg, yes, like my overall analysis long term is for price to have a more significant push here to facilitate a higher time frame pullback. But nonetheless, as we come into this range here, we could get stuck within this range and then continue back lower. But again, I'm not interested in those sells because of where we're sitting at within the higher time frame context. Okay, we're just, you know, really far down. We've been kind of overextended for a while. Again, like the reason I kind of explain this, guys, because you guys have to realize that you always have to realize what leg or what range you're truly playing within. The range that we're truly playing within, at least on the 1 minute time frame, is this range. Okay, the range that we're playing within on the 5 minute time frame, we could pretty much say this entire range. Okay, big difference. Okay, but the biggest understanding is, like, obviously if we're going to take a trade on the 5 minute, I guess the 1 minute, the 1 minute range does matter. But the reason I'm paying more attention to this 1 minute range is because we are looking for a lower time frame setup. Okay, so this 1 minute range does matter a lot to me in the sense of seeing what price does. You know, are we going to facilitate the pullback and then sell off from there? Okay, because again, that could possibly happen. Price could want to go lower, even though I expect it to go higher. It could still continue within that lower time frame trend, 100%. Okay. Is Tino trades reality? This guy is the OG. Understanding macro typical analysis of the same forward again a million times, so it gets her to start here like a pro. He better be as good as you say. I'm a banny, Bobby. Truly. If he's not as funny as you say, you're banned. This has just not been a nice week. Did anyone trade with Mamba this morning and catch that crazy fucking move? I saw him catch a pretty gnarly buy. That's me. I'll see you tomorrow, London. Good luck if you do take a trade. Thank you. Yeah, so we're now coming within the premium of this range here. Again, the only way I'm now interested in a trade is if we do end up expanding all the way up here to break that high, and then maybe we catch a pullback, or we just wait and then catch a, break higher. So, but again, I have to play a little bit more strict in the sense of waiting for a proper break of some type of internal high. Even then, this isn't like the best internal high, but it still is better than taking something within here. So we'll see. But again, the reason I'm going to wait is because price can just sell back off from here on out. It definitely can. So hate these types of nights because I look forward to trading. You know, I want to come in here and talk to you guys, call a nice little trade. But it's just like, when there's nothing, there's nothing. Like, I love streaming, but sometimes, like, I just want to fucking sit here on TikTok and wait for something to happen. But I can't. Like, I gotta keep talking to you guys. I'm gonna start movie nights in here and shit. When we're waiting, we're just gonna watch a movie. Dun, 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 dun. Well, looks like we are expanding higher, which is a good thing. But here's not the good thing. If we just can, like, I want to see, obviously, like I said, a break of this high. Okay, break structure here. But here's the thing. If we just continue to pump with an extreme amount of just bullish volume, great in the sense of we're getting the break structure. Not great in the sense of if we're not creating any type of internal structure as we come up higher, then we have nothing to play if we were to play the pullback. Nothing. Okay. Which sucks because, again, if we could play a pullback if we break these highs and play the pullback before, continue to expand higher. But if there's no internal structure, there's nothing to play off of. Good night, fam. Cut 240 in gold. Yes, sir. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, guys, I'm going to wait here for a little bit. We only started live, but it's just the thing is, like, it's just boring ass fucking night. Boring as fuck, to be honest. Hell yeah, Athena. Love that. What have you been trading? Gold, NASDAQ. It's 2:11. I gotta try to get before lunchtime. About to roll a fat plant. Oh, I love that. I love that. Hell yeah, Nas during New York, or did you see we tapped the 15-minute low? What 15-minute low? On US 30? Where do you look at U30? Yeah, let's take a look. I usually don't trade US 30, but same thing with US 30, where we're extended to the downside. I'd wait for some type of structural break, which even here, nothing really looks too good, at least not yet. Floating profit on gold, love that. That sweep on gold was nice. Landing with you, sometimes power on Luca. Hell yeah. Love that. Love that. Keep running up those payouts, stack some accounts, use that payout to maybe get more leverage, more capital. And then, again, if you keep doing the same thing, that payout should be, I'd say, doubled potentially, or your next payout at least should be a little bit more. Again, we talked about that last night. The more capital you have, the better. Again, like someone who makes 1% a week, or let's say 1% a week on a $10,000 account is making $100. Someone who makes 1% a week on $1 million account is making $10,000. Big difference. Same trade, same everything, same RR caught, same percentage made. The only difference is the amount of capital that each person had. That's really the big thing that you guys have to understand. Dax is stuttering. Fuck. Dax is kind of ugly. Get a paddle boat at the strip club, rinse, repeat. You guys could do that. I'm not recommending it. Dylan is. Let's see how price reacts to this area here. Again, good thing our breaker structure is up here, because at that point we would see good confirmation that price is not going to react to this area of imbalance or fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. And then hopefully we, again, break through that and then we can play higher. Bro, what happened to NQ? Dude, I know it looks shit right now. It fucking melted right after Asia for some reason. Going to zero. Imagine we just like fucking start tanking down. Yeah, it looks ugly right now, Chris. Like, there's really no setup. Really nothing like for me to even execute on here, guys. At least not yet. We're only 15 minutes in. We are making our way higher. So if we do end up breaking these highs, I will shoot that. 100%. But Stone Age. Going back to the start. Nah, that'd be detrimental to like the world. I can't say that, but it'd be very, very like very just bad if it really just went back to zero. At least for those companies. I love zero sugar sodas, but I know if the sugar's not getting me, the fucking aspartame in this shit's getting me for sure. There's something about it. What's up, Luxy? What you been up to, bro? You been a little quiet. Yeah, Chris, go to bed. He's probably already out of here. He probably just hopped in real quick. Bro's a little night out like me. Yeah, he's already out of here. Oh shit, he's still awake. Damn. Fucking Chris. I know where he lives. $100 and I'll sell him out. I'm just kidding, Chris. Because he could sell me out. Been busy at work recently, especially in the morning. I'm always on stream, but can't always trade with you guys. I feel that. It's cool. I won't take it to heart, Lexi. Don't worry. I feel bad whoever traded Dax. I kind of faked everyone the fuck out. I mean, actually, it doesn't look too terrible, but Uganda. Chris live from Uganda. A lot of orange folder coming out. What a boring fucking night. I'm gonna start trading breakouts. Going to have lunch soon is fucking crazy. Fucking sin. So here's the thing with NASDAQ. We could end up expanding lower. We really could. Again, we are still within this 1 minute bearish leg. Like I've said to you guys multiple times, I'm just not interested just based off how overextended we already are. You guys may be thinking, then if we're already bearish, why aren't you selling? And Ken's just not ideal for me. Like, yes, we could sell. And if we do end up selling, this would be good information, good data. But that, again, doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to come into tomorrow and trade or sell in conditions that are very overextended to the downside, very, very much in discount. All I hear is music? No way. Better? It's like at the lowest fucking setting ever. There you go. Is that a little bit better? Probably hurt you guys' ears for a second, but it's all good. And keep it running a lot in Asia recently, or Asia, London. And London in general. Yeah. Was there an Asia setup today? That's what actually camera costs a pair of 2 adult. What the fuck are we talking about, Casper? Was that an owl? I can't see what that is. It is an owl. Owls are cool. I love owls. That should just caught me by surprise, because wish me luck. Of course, bro. I wish you luck. Good luck. Again, sells could end up playing out, guys. Like, you can 100% take sells. Again, I'm not calling the signal myself because I'm not taking it. I'm just being fully honest. I'd rather sit on my hands in this case and wait for something of a higher probability, for me at least. before I really go into execute on anything. You can't hear me? Yeah, go on YouTube. I don't know why Discord's been tweaking. I'm waiting to see you do a handstand, bro. You're gonna see me like just like fucking timber and break my desk. You're just gonna see my feet just fucking crash down, the desk just fucking just fold in on itself. And then I gotta go buy a new desk. Excuse me. Yeah, I can hear on here. Fire, Johnny. Yeah, Discord's weird sometimes. I don't know what's up with Discord. Discord sometimes is weird, sometimes it's good. I don't think Chris will like us having feet pics of Nick. No, he might get a little jealous. Put out, yeah. Again, if you made some profits, made some profits. You just need a little move. We talked about that last night. Like realistically, all we need, like if we really wanted to, like we could go for, let's say in this case here, I actually like these types of trades. Sometimes I'll fuck around and take these trades where obviously you see a bullish expansion of this leg here. Okay. Let me use something better. You see bullish expansion of this leg here, right? Okay. Shortly after, what do you see? The expansion of this next leg. Not as volume filled, but still good expansion. And then what did we leave? We'll go and replay for this. What did we leave on the closure of this candle? An imbalance, okay? We left imbalance of that candle. So what do we see after that? We see price fill that imbalance, okay? This is honestly something that you guys could do, okay? I do this sometimes. I've actually gotten payouts with it. Just literally just simple stuff like this. But I don't like, it's not like, I don't want to say it's gambling, but like it's just, again, like I like the way I trade. It's just, this is like when I'm fucking around. But this is also something that I look for too within my own trading when I obviously have my setup and seeing stuff like this, because we obviously had a bullish filled candle. Okay, we had our next candle higher. We know that we could target highs, and then we had price fill that imbalance and bottom wick hard where we could enter, maybe even at a break of these highs. Stops don't even have to be at these lows. We could honestly go like that, and price just ends up ripping. Okay, and I mean obviously it's not necessarily always guaranteed to rip, but here's the thing. Again, we already showed that we were seeing some bullish volume. We had our next candle print, and then the third candle filled the imbalance and bottom wicked hard. That's just, in a sense, I don't want to call it a candle pattern, but that's just reading the candles. Okay, I'd like to say, truly, it just shows a lot of bullish momentum at that point, and you can catch those trades, 100%. Chris always getting jealous if we talk about Nick. No way. He loves me. Not like that. Tomorrow, Lexi, just spam Nick. Let's go in there and spam Nick. Same thing with you, son. I will be watching. He's trading Nick candles exclusively now. Who doesn't like a little Nick? I was gonna say a little Nick candle. Who doesn't like a big Nick candle every now and then? Who doesn't like one? I don't even think he's in chat anymore. I don't even think he's in the stream. Nah. Bro's probably already in bed. Pause? What do you mean pause? It's the truth. Like, I like when I get into a trade and a big Nick big Nick candle comes and just like rips a TP. Like, who doesn't like that? It's easy TP, fast TP. Okay, Lexi, no, you can't be saying that. I lost viewers. uh, Chris said he got bullish when he saw the Nick candle. Oh my gosh, son. It's funny because a lot of people are probably like fucking confused as fuck and they don't understand it. And they're like, what are they talking about? I'm not elaborating. So Dan asked me to. Fuck Naz, man. It's gonna be the same thing as last night. I feel like we're gonna end up creeping up, breaking this high in like, you know, 15 minutes, maybe a little bit less. What happened to price? Oh, I'm in replay. I'm retarded. Okay. Yeah. I just realized at this point, yeah, we may not end up breaking this until 2. I'm gonna grab a drink. Honestly, after that move like that during Asia, I'm not really expecting much from London. Yeah. It just kind of fucks us. It really does. Like, it just sets us up in a really horrible position where, again, like, I want to come on here and call trades for you guys. Again, like, I'm trading for myself at the end of the day. But, when there's not ideal situations, there's not ideal situations, And again, like, I hope if we may take a trade, who knows? But if we don't take a trade today, I hope there's one thing that you do leave with, and that's the understanding that, look, if I'm able to sit here on my hands and not take a trade because there's not good conditions or I don't see my setup, being more specific, you should be too. But I keep saying, I'm glad you're not gambling, but take audio content. Yeah. Again, like, I'm big on that, guys. Like, my biggest goal in these streams is not to come on here to call trades, is to come on here and actually teach what good trading is. And I believe that's everyone's goal at Legacy. Again, we want to help you guys. Like, if we weren't here, if we weren't live streaming for you guys, like, we wouldn't want to help you guys. Like, if we just had a Discord, chatting a little bit, at that point, we'd probably give less of a fuck about you. And that's most prop firms. I'm not going to talk shit on other prop firms, but nonetheless, what other prop firms are really going live like this on a consistent basis, actually trying to help? Not many, if any at all. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab a drink. We'll see what is going on when I come back. I know you guys got scared. This looks like shit. Like, I got this new thing from Target. It's a clear protein drink. I don't know. I've had other clear protein drinks before. Some good, some Bro, could you get the other guys to do pull on having a live trading floor for like market talk, etc., for community members, like for you guys to talk? So, to actually speak on that, I don't know if I've talked about this on stream. Something tells me I have. Okay, but we want to do something where it's collectively like a big group stream. Maybe not on Discord, maybe some on Discord, but on YouTube, where it's me, Mark, Chris, and Luca all going live at least one day out of the week, and we'll bring people maybe into a separate Discord call, who are watching the YouTube live, and we'll be live from like maybe New York into Power Hour for like 4 or 5 hours. We'd be live straight, and we'd bring you guys in. You guys can talk, ask questions, and stuff like that. So that's something we actually are looking forward to, and looking to set up here soon. Is just more or less like a big group thing, and we will bring people in to ask questions. So that'd be cool. Give you guys a chance to talk, ask questions, and stuff like that. The one thing with like, if you're asking more or less like just a call in Discord for members to go in and talk to each other, that could be something, if that is mainly what you're talking about. That could be something I bring up to some of the other team members and see how they think about it, where you guys can hop in there and talk out of session and stuff like that. So any of us can start a live video on other invite others. Yeah, so like if you're just saying a community section where anyone can join and talk to each other at any point in time, that's something that I think we could actually do sooner than what I was talking about. And I think that'd be good. Again, with Discord, anyone can go live. Multiple people can be live in a regular call at the same time. So yeah, let me talk to some people tomorrow and see if we can get that going, if that's something that especially you would be interested. Hopefully I assume a lot of people would be interested in that, kind of going in there talking to each other. Where we would have issues, and it wouldn't be that big of issues, is if like people really started just kind of being weird and talking shit and just but at that point, you will be banned. You will be banned, truly. It's really special to find someone who genuinely wants to teach and help. I needed to improve my entries, and you've helped me so much with practicing patience, and I'm way better understanding what. Thank you, Athena. I love that. Again, guys. I mean, that's really why I'm here. Truly. Like, I mean, I could be just trading on my own time, truly, and just not live. But I'd like to say I was put on this earth to help. I think that's definitely my goal. I'm very good at, decently good at talking, elaborating things, and teaching, especially in my expertise. So, I truly think that's what I was put on the earth to do, is help others, even in other aspects besides trading. What's the oil thing? I don't trade oil. Was it US oil? What are we thinking about oil? I don't like oil either. It's kind of like gold. Moves somewhat similarly. What happened to my session? The fuck? No, I hate that shit with a passion. When did I delete it, man? Come back to me. I don't want to have to reset my times, you fuck. Ah, you motherfucker. Oh, that sucks. Let's reset this. If you guys are using my Edge Matrix sessions, this is super simple. Again, always make sure at the bottom of your screen, if it says UTC, whatever the negative is, if it's -7, -5, make sure to switch this to that corresponding number, and it would be a little bit or way more accurate when it comes to setting Asia timeframes. So I believe it's 16 to 19. I usually do the first 3 hours, and I would do 19. I believe I do. Let's see. Yeah. It's usually always off by 1 minute. So I do 1901. Let's change this. London 0 to 3. 301. I don't know why I keep exiting out. New York. I usually do about 5:30. I'm gonna do 6:30. 6:30 to 9:30. Come on, stop fucking with me. All right, there. Well, I looked at oil. I'm not interested, to be honest. Just not a fan of oil. I think we probably will end up buying up, but I'd still need to see a break of this high for like confirmation as far as, seeing internal trend now shifting bullish and us seeing that. NAS is still selling off here. Nothing of good quality. It's 35 minutes in, guys. I don't like any stream early, but at this point, I am not interested in sells, especially at this point. Yes, we can continue to sell. Someone did point out the weekly time frame. We are pretty close to taking last week's low, so that definitely could be a point of interest for price to come into, and then we see prices go higher. But it's not a big fan of any of this right now, guys. With that being said, so can't complain about the day. UK 100, I am going to be taking UK 100, but I do want to see a break of this high. Hopefully we do break it near the end of London, during New York. Hopefully we have the pullback, and then I get entry during New York. I will shoot. That being said, guys, I hate having 2 no trade days in a row, but at the end of the day, like I said, if you guys could take something from this stream, you don't have to trade every single day. We didn't have a setup, or at least I didn't have a setup, nothing of quality. There's nothing of quality. There's no reason for me to trade. Again, I know I have 3 more days of this week where, again, imagine if we impulsively took 2 trades yesterday and today and they both ended up losing. We come back the next 3 days, we win. Again, the first 2 days actually hurt us a lot more than us just sitting on our hands. The next 3 days could be all winners, which would be great. But we'll see what happens. Again, price action is okay. Not terrible, not the best. Nonetheless, again, we have to kind of play with what we're given, and on the days where there's nothing, we just don't trade. That being said, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Also, again, go use code Nick, Legacy Funded Futures. Go get yourself a nice little discount on an account if you don't have an account yet. I don't know what you're doing, honestly. Go get an account because, again, I mean, we have some of the best payout caps. So if you actually are running it up, you're going to get some really big payouts with us. That being said, guys, I'll see you guys all tomorrow, same time, 11:45 p.m. PST. Be back. Hopefully tomorrow's a winning day. Again, you don't want to miss a day. Could be a winning day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.